Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Baka podcast.
Baka. It's amazing how every time you open your mouth, you prove you're an idiot.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Baka. We are an anime podcast where every 2 weeks we come together and discuss an anime we've recently watched in a very book club style format. I assume I'm not part of a book club. And then we turn that discussion over to you, the listening audience, to tell us where you agree, where you disagree, what you liked, what you didn't like. Your opinion is as important as ours because we are just three Bakas. And this week we're talking about the first 12 episodes, which I've been told was a bad place to stop, for Gachiakuta. You know it. It's the new hot shonen.
It's a year, so Kuda.
Everyone's talking about. Sometimes they pronounce things weird, like Bahamut.
Yeah.
It's not pronounced
That's the weird
Never
way.
mind.
Throwback. To do this, I need the help of my co-host. First up, with his anime hot take, we have the Oscar to my grouch.
I want to see a Final Fantasy IV anime. There.
Spicy.
Womp, womp, womp.
Don't do hot takes.
Okay. With his anime hot take, we have our other host. He's the Wreck-It to my Ralph. Because you'll understand this reference. It's Jason.
It's because I might be bad guy, but I'm not bad guy.
He makes this reference like once a day. It's like the only movie he ever references. Anyway.
Okay. There is not. We need more Eins in anime.
More what?
Overlord.
No,
Oh,
no. Animals, like
what?
actual pets that are pets. You know,
Did you hear Eins? I heard Eins.
I
But-
heard Eins.
right. But it's Ein the dog, but plural.
Einstein?
No,
Ein
like
from Cowboy Bebop.
from Cowboy Bebop.
Right, named after Einstein, right? Because he's smart.
Yes. And who
Right.
was an intelligent thinking person.
He wasn't talking though,
He wasn't talking.
or in a relationship with the protagonist. Anyways, that took a weird turn, but that's not my fault. I'm just saying we don't have enough anime with like just a cat or a dog, and it's a main feature of the anime. We need more of that.
Okay.
Maybe
that
we
is
just don't look at the right anime. I bet they're out there. But you want more. I get it.
and my name is Troy. And my anime hot take, I don't actually have one either.
Then why do we do this bit? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
We do the bit so people get a feel for our taste. So when they listen to our review, they know who they want to listen to.
Then we need to change this section to shower thoughts.
Shower
How would
thoughts?
that help them?
And anime shower thoughts. Well, for instance, what I said isn't really a hot take. It's more of a random thought. Like, you know what? It'd be
So
really
you
nice
want the
to have...
bit to adjust to you.
Correct. Because the rules always apply to me. So, I mean, I might as well get something in
Why
this
not?
show.
Have the bit do it.
In
Well, if
pre-show,
it's
you said, let's watch a hentai anime.
That was, okay, for one, that was 100% a joke. And two, what?
Who needs context?
Yeah, right? Yeah. Who needs context?
All right.
Who knows? Maybe there's an audience for that.
Let's go to our non-spoiler reviews for the anime that we just watched. Again, just the first 12 episodes, but there won't be any spoilers. This was Jeremy's pick. I'll let him start us off.
I really like how you had to preface that with there will be no spoilers for Jeremy.
Yeah, just a reminder. It's interesting. I thought that it had a lot of potential in the very beginning, like the first few episodes. It had a lot of energy. I love the way that the characters are drawn. The art style is just gorgeous. It reminds me a lot of like Soul Eater, Fire Force, which makes sense. Um, but I think that it falls into a lot of the same tropes of writing, I guess you could say. There's a lot of repetition, there's a lot of filler, there's a lot of exposition, and I just really would have loved it if it didn't tackle such simple topics. I think there's an odd combination of simple writings and themes and topics combined with like really violent and visceral um scenarios and even combats, and it's really jarring to me. So I don't know. I'm still really struggling with it. I thought I was gonna like it more.
Jason, your thoughts?
Uh, to sum it up, s- had described this as mediocre potential. Um, I don't hate my time with it, but I'm also not looking forward to it. It's just like one of those things where you've participated in it and now you just like you could drop it or you could keep going. You kind of don't care. And that's the problem, is that I think the writing lends itself to me not being attached to the characters. Um Jeremy was spot on. I won't say that too often. Uh the first few episodes did a great job in setting the premise, setting this cool world going on. However, they fall into all the same pitfalls of emotional power scaling. And it it's just old. It's like I feel more than you, so I'm more powerful. Um Also, like there was this great setup for your world being your background character that is really interesting to explore, and then they just drop it, or at least it ends up going way into the background and then sprinkled out throughout these past 12 episodes. And no, and also they break their own rules all the time, or at least they don't make sense. So, and we'll get to that later. um so yeah, it's I just saw a lot of potential for me to grab onto and like, and so far it's not panning out.
I think I mentioned in our last episode for me that I'd already started watching this at my daughter's request. She's absolutely in love with it. The issue I was running into then and that kept up through the whole series is it just felt like a repeat of things I've done before. I told these guys I want to talk about the evolution of shonen, how we went from Dragon Ball Z to the big three, so Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, and then kind of a next generation has showed up. Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, and now what I think is the most evolved is Dandadan, kind of doing its very own thing. Still has its a little bit of the trope showing up, but it's so greedily mixing everything and jumbling it all together. It's a whole new thing. This feels like a page from the past. And actually, Jeremy, you have a factoid. I want you to share it because you found it. So let everyone know that factoid so I can build on it.
Well, apparently the mangaka is, which I think that's the right term for it, served under, had the author of Fire Force and Soul Eater as her mentor, and worked with him. And I guess he like handed the torch on to her as well. So she's, this work is very much inspired and like the evolution or the next generation of his work, you could say. Her take on it.
And before I even knew that, I was walking away from this like this feels very Fire Force. And my biggest issue with Fire Force is I also feel it's very trope heavy. It's almost a paint by numbers. Soul Eater less so, but it is there. But Soul Eater is a bit older. I really like Soul Eater. I like Fire Force. This again, it was just like I've eaten too many bites of this flavor, and I'm kind of done with this flavor. If this had come out 10 years ago, I'd be all about it. I'd be like, oh, this is so cool. The art style is beautiful.
Mm.
The world with its focus on both uh, graffiti art and trash, and kind of mixing those two elements together is unique and not something I've seen before. But like every character introduction, before they even talk, I'm like, I know which character you are. Okay, you're the OP mentor who's too cool for school. I've seen you in like 7 anime. It's almost like it's all speaking in shorthand, and I know it all. Story beats, I was like, yep, this is what's going to happen in this story beat. This is going to happen in this story beat. I wasn't surprised by anything. With that said, we're only halfway through. I could be eating my words. I've heard from my daughter, second half is better. So we'll see. Now, unfortunately, we do not have time for everyone's favorite segment today. It's been canceled. There is no Tanya's take. So now Jason will play some sad music.
Tanya does not follow your rules. She's not a fan.
She wasn't a fan of it.
It's very mediocre for her as well.
Yeah.
Most of the same reasons that I had. She really liked the art. If it didn't look so pretty, she would have hated it.
Now, the reason we're replacing Tanya's take, which somehow snuck itself in there anyway,
It's because the music
we
happened.
have a voice from the past, former guest host. My daughter left us a voice note on what she liked about this anime. So
Spoiler
listen
free.
from her.
Yeah, is it spoiler free?
Yes, it's spoiler free. You guys don't need to worry about that.
Hello. I was asked to give the reasons onto why I love Gachiakuta so much. I think one of the main reasons it's just been so fun to watch. I enjoy spending my Sundays watching the new episode because they always release on Sunday. I think the characters are super fun and charming, even the villains. Everyone's vital instrument is just, it's so interesting. I can't get into too many spoilers per my father's request. But while he complains about the first 12 episodes, the next 12 is where it really pops off. Like, it gets good in this next season. So if you've just kinda liked it by now, genuinely, you need to stick around because it just gets better. And it's only gonna get better. Start reading the manga, it gets, it just keeps getting better. The more time it gets to grow and to build on the things that that's been setting up since the beginning, it's genuinely amazing.
All right, that was Jade's voice note. I don't think she's going to be doing that again. She wasn't very comfortable, but we appreciate her doing that.
Thank
All
you,
right, let's
Jade.
talk about the opening and the closing.
I like both of them. They were great. The opening had some really good visuals. I really like the music. ED was very similar. Definitely felt like I was watching a shonen.
Both of them were really, really difficult at the beginning. Like in the first episode, I did not want to even finish the song for either one. But later on, I really liked the intro. I thought it was great. And especially like the first few seconds of it, that rhythm really gets you. It's really good. Um, that outro, I just can't palate it. I like Myth and Royd. I love their stuff where they go into like dissonant sounds and harmonics and stuff. It's great. This went a little too far. It's off tune so bad, so
Hmm.
much, and it's intentional. Like it's meant to be like dissonant. It's just way too far for me. Can't stand it. The
Yeah,
art's beautiful though.
I'm 100% in Jeremy's boat, almost like word for word what he said. Um, I like a lot of different music. I try to, be open minded to all different flavors. It doesn't matter what it is. There's just something a little bit off about both of them, but that opening part, "Never Let Go Forever," it's good. It is good. And then the hard rock play, I got used to it in the OP, and it's fine. It's just a little step too far for my own personal taste. And yeah, the ending just does not click with me. He actually said it better than I was going to too. So
So dissonant.
all right. Up next, guys. It's the holidays. We're taking kind of a break by just watching a movie. And then we're gonna actually finish this anime and then do their rules light pick. I'm not allowed to say rules free anymore because someone decided to test that to its extreme.
It's your rule. What do you want from me?
So a very rules light, which means basically they can pick any series they want to watch that they
Hold you
haven't
to
seen
that.
or I have seen before, as long as it's appropriate for all audiences.
That is not where I was going.
Yes, it was where you went.
No. An old Japanese sword movie is not inappropriate for certain ages.
What was your
It's
pick before that one?
PG.
What was your pick before that one?
I don't remember.
School DxD.
I did not pick that.
You did too.
Prove it. That never happened.
Jeremy, back me up. I'm remembering this right?
I remember a different one where it was some lady.
No, you're
with
right.
two
You're right.
ladies.
It was
Yeah,
the
see?
lady who can't
You're a
be
liar.
murdered.
And now you
Yeah, the
can't.
immortal lady.
Your credibility's gone. Whatever you say from this point on,
Yours
you
is
might as well
worse.
just
Now,
move
only
Yeah. A reputation for being worse than the DxD.
yeah. Okay.
bit
So
dirtier.
rule light. Anime choices are coming. We're just gonna push them off by one extra episode, just because I feel like this anime is gonna be really hard to jump back into after like the 6-week break.
Hey, I suggested just dropping it, but we had a vote.
But my daughter knows where I sleep at night, and I worry for my safety. Good. I'm not kidding. She is in love with this anime. She calls me
Really?
after work almost every day to be like, okay, let's talk about this character. I'm like, I haven't seen that far yet. I can't. What's wrong with you? Why aren't you watching all of it? Screw your
It's a podcast.
podcast.
We have a specific way we do this.
Yeah. All right.
We'll get there.
We're going now to our spoiler section. But before we do, oh yeah, did I even announce the movie we're watching? We're watching 100 Meters. Yeah, that's the movie.
Why are we announcing that
Hello,
now?
Richie. That's where we
'Cause-
always announce it, right before spoilers.
But we're doing the second half of this anime next, right?
No.
No.
We're doing
No.
100 Meters next, and then we're coming back to this, and then you're getting,
Oh, I missed
Jeremy's
what-
pick.
Okay,
and then no, I think it's Jason then Jeremy.
it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
It does. I do it by alphabetical order of our names. That's how I keep track.
Oh, okay.
Same with our board game picks on when we play on BGA. No one needs to know that. Okay, we're moving on. Spoiler section for the first one of
Yahtzee.
the episodes of Gachiakuta.
Yahtzee!
I don't want to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about how I paid for a board gaming service for us all to play together, and Jeremy picked Yahtzee, which you can play on any browser, 100 million sites. No, it's fine. It's fine. I don't.
That's,
We're talking about anime today.
that's right. Not grievances.
Played it.
Hey,
huh?
Hey
I wanna
guys,
know.
Hey,
Gachiakuta.
yeah,
Do you know this anime is about trash?
I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
trash, and the opening or the first episode tells us it shows modern world just throwing away trash all the time, and then
Like
we jump.
hyper, like modern, like a little bit futuristic.
Isn't the
Isn't
opening
it the
scene
white,
just
isn't
like
it the white spheroid world, or is it just showing us our world?
the opening shot? I thought was our world, and then it jumps to the white spheroid city.
It's
Oh,
not
that didn't
clear.
even click for me.
Well, I had to watch it twice now because of you. So
That makes sense.
Because of me.
all right,
No, because of me.
Oh, okay.
Why would you get me from that context? I wasn't even talking to you.
You literally said you. What else was I supposed to think? You didn't say Jeremy.
Guys, I know what you're doing, and we have to talk about the anime. You can't stall it. You're just making the episode longer. They're waiting for us to do this.
Yeah, this isn't Twitch.
Right. Bated breath.
Hey, let's talk about the anime.
Trash. And then, yeah, super white cities, all clean. And we see like a little girl like, my toy broken. And the mom's like, but then we have to throw it away and buy new toys. And look, the theme's not subtle. And as far as themes, like, there's nothing wrong with the theme itself. It's just it doesn't even have anything to say about it. It's just like, hey, trash is bad. Boom, drop the mic.
Well, it seems like maybe there's more than just that theme too, because there's this constant, maybe theme isn't the right term for this, but there's this constant sense of like, this boy is growing up, like he's going through puberty, I guess. He's getting testosterone. He's having to learn how to deal with it.
The emotional.
Yeah. Would that be called a theme, or is it just a
Well,
subtext?
I think we're talking specifically about the trash, though, and like how the world has a bad view of it.
Yeah, I think that is definitely a major theme in it.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's an element happening in the story. Are they having something to say about puberty? I don't really think so. I think it's more just a character trait setting up for an arc. But I would say the theme is about consumerism and trash and recycling.
But that theme is like kind of sprinkled in here or there, and we spend like 2 minutes on it in the first episode, and then it's just kind of a background noise. There's no commentary on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, it's clearly like, hey, trash is bad, and like just constant consumerism and throwing stuff away at a constant rate is bad. But that it's just very blatantly that, and not like exploring how it's bad or ways around it, or it's just
no
like,
solutions.
Hey, turn it into a weapon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his gloves are the 3 R's. Was it something? Recycle, reuse,
reduce, reuse, recycle.
Recycle. Yeah, that's literally the name of his weapon. So, sure. Which, again, fine with that. That's great theme, but I
so
don't
he's
feel
Captain
this
Planet.
explores the theme well.
Yes. Only when they
No.
unite.
No,
When they work together.
you can't trust that man. He's made of heart. What does heart do? Imagine getting the heart ring. How
Well, you can
pissed
talk
would
to
you be?
animals and stuff, remember?
The other one can make tornadoes and fire.
It's
I can talk to this monkey. Oh, good.
Yeah.
long
Yay
as,
for me. I'm glad I'm on the team.
as long as Captain Planet's not Don Cheadle, man.
Oh, that was a good one. I like that skit.
We have to talk about the anime. All right, so we see a garbage factory in this perfect white city or garbage area, and a masked kid breaks in to rummage through the trash, and then the guards are like, "Oh no, don't touch our trash!" And then they start shooting at him, and he dodges bullets.
This was the weirdest escalation I think I've seen in a while. He's dumpster diving. Kill him.
Yep. And then, yeah, like I said, he immediately dodges bullets. I'm like, oh, so he has a superpower. The anime's like, no, he just like, bullet dodges.
Yeah, didn't you hear the guy said he's really fast?
And cool
He is
gloves.
really fast. Yep. So he runs away, and this is our main character, Rudo. Like Jeremy said, a guy dealing with a lot.
Mm.
Your guys' thoughts on Rudo?
That's why you picked this so close to Christmas, because it sounds like Rudolph.
It does sound like Rudolph.
Talk about the character.
Okay. He's got, again, it's just more potential. So more mediocre potential. They drop little hints here and there of like traits or things about him, like his father, or like, he takes off his gloves and his hands seem scarred, but they don't seem scarred. They seem like they're wrapped in some sort of magical tape. But they burn him all the time unless he's wearing his gloves. He can't seem to smile. His emotions are all over the place, even though he tries to act stoic all the time. He's got some really cool character flaws and things to work on, and how to show appreciation. In fact, one of the funnier scenes is, I'm just smiling. Why do you have a problem with me smiling? And his smile is terrifying. But like none of it pays off, or at least, again, we're at episode 12. It's still what, 23 episodes long. Just everything that they've dropped so far is just nothing's paid off. I don't know any answers about this kid. And I feel like I'm being dragged along, similar to Hero X, where I'm starting to just not care about the characters. Sorry, it's just
got to burn Hero X.
two bad anime in a row. What am I gonna do?
No, just watch Clevitus, you idiot.
Okay, maybe it wasn't in a row. You're right, because Clevitus was amazing. I just had to stick that in there. Hey, never mind. Yeah, so far he's fine. I wish there would be more.
I would just like to add that we're on episode 12 of what I assume is going to be like a 100-episode shonen. So
yeah,
I mean, you have to keep the genre we're watching in frame of your review. I think you can't just be like, why don't I have all the answers about this kid?
I don't need all the answers, but when I have 1/100th
of the way,
like they've set up like 40 things about him and they've revealed 0. If they had revealed 2, I think I'd be happy about it.
I mean, they've followed the formula. Like, this is 100% the formula.
Okay, well, I don't like the formula.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know.
Give me something to hang on to.
I think there's something about him that is getting tedious. I love the bewildered, almost feral nature that he has. It's in his art. It's in his misunderstanding of and incapability of just acting like a normal person, like blending into the societal norms. He just can't do it, and he's struggling to try and do it, and I think that is entertaining. But he complains about it, blames himself way too frequently for things that really, like, I don't know, too much inner dialogue. I don't need to hear this much of his inner dialogue. It reminds me of the old statement, if I open my mouth, I'll show that I'm a fool, right? Better to be silent than expose that you're a fool. I don't want to hear his thoughts because he's really dumb, and I know he's only 15, so I don't want to be cruel, but that I can't even imagine that those are the thoughts of a 15-year-old. I don't know. I have a really hard time with this character.
You guys ever heard of Naruto?
Never watched it.
What's that?
Super OP teenage boy, has a lot of darkness inside him that could lash out and hurt people. Has a mysterious father that everyone hints at, and
a curse.
It's the main character curse. Ichigo had one. Naruto has one.
I guess you could say Goku had one because
I'm not a One Piece fan, but I've been thinking a lot about these different shonens over the years, and they are very unique in what they do. They went for a more Dragon Ball Z style, whereas Naruto and Bleach went a different way and kind of set the mold for everyone else. For what it's worth. But again, it just felt very formulaic to me. He's the events he goes through are unique. The world he's in is unique. I love the way they draw his eyes. So his character design is very cool. I actually felt bad for them having to draw those big gloves all the time. That's just an extra step in artwork. But he doesn't have the charm or the likability a lot of these shonen characters. by design, like he's supposed to clash with everything around him. That, like you mentioned, that's what he's doing. He doesn't fit into norms. It makes it kind of hard to really like him as your main character. Um, but it's not like I'm rooting against him, and that's where I'm going to be with a lot of this. Of like, yeah, it's good enough.
Mm.
I think if people are looking for that old school type of thing, this is going to hit. And this is a highly rated, per my anime list, anime.
Mhm.
We're against the norm here ourselves, but Rudo doesn't click for me. He doesn't.
I honestly think if they didn't expose his thoughts, all of his actions are interesting because at least then you'd be wondering like what is the context? Like why is he doing this? What is his inner dialogue? And you'd probably give him more credit than at least the whininess that he's expressing and what he deserves because we're
Right.
hearing that. That's
But
what kills him for me.
if shonen anime didn't have internal dialogues, they'd only be half the size.
Well, that's a huge complaint I have is
Well,
there are a lot of episodes, you always talk about how in your
The notes
your
size.
movie journal um you, you have just a tiny bit for this episode. And I was wondering like on the Canvas City, I bet it's a little tiny little bit. There are several episodes where I'm like, what did we just do? Like what was the point of this?
and I 100% disagree with that sentiment that, oh, if we don't have this thing, then this episode is going to be short. No,
Something else
you
there.
yeah, you literally fill that time with story, with
Mhm.
world building, with relationship building, some character arc, like something, instead of, oh, I hate myself, I mess
Mhm.
everything up.
Is it my fault? This thing that had nothing to do with me?
Yeah, I wasn't
My
even
fault?
there. It must have been my
Yeah.
fault.
No. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm getting older, but the characters with self-deprecation like this, for especially for stuff that they 100% were not involved in, or at least could not fathomably make a link to. I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
It's not. I can't identify with it.
It's funny when we started this podcast years and years ago. I remember being like, I'm done with shonen. Okay, it's become
Yeah,
stale.
did
I'm
say that.
done. I was all against it. We had a mini, like one of our first mini was arguing about shonen and its value. Jason was all about it. He loved the old shonen stuff.
Yeah.
I had my mind changed when stuff like Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, Chainsaw Man
Demon
came
Slayer.
along. Yeah, I've flipped, but now watching this again felt like it was a throwback to older stuff. It got me thinking like Jujutsu Kaisen is very trope heavy, but it fast forwards through it as fast as it can, so it can just go to awesome fights.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, who cares about the story? We're grabbing this one element and doing it to the maximum, and everything else is just kind of padding. Like, we did, because really, it's all there. All the same tropes are in Jujutsu Kaisen, but it's like, hey, yeah, this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here. Now watch them punch each other for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna draw it really well.
My Hero Academia is like, we're all about the hype. It's a one punch battle, but when that one punch lands, you're gonna feel it all through your core. This is just, again, it's old school, and those tropes have become rusty, and there's just nothing outside of them, like these newer anime, to make them worth watching. I think my biggest thing with this anime is I was bored.
You just touched on it a second ago when you were talking about specifically about Jujutsu Kaisen. One of the things I found myself just disconnecting with on this one is they set up the world is gritty and nearly horror-esque in the way it's drawn and the way they do the beasts that will come across. But there is just zero consequences for any of the characters. There's just none.
So far.
Like, so far, sure, so far. But there's been multiple characters that have had the chance to be, had their life ended, and it just doesn't. And like in Jujutsu Kaisen, they didn't hold back from that.
Yeah.
There were consequences for characters failing, like drastic consequences. And I don't, when you set up the world to be that gritty and you set it up to be this hype of this thing is so dangerous and then nothing happens, it falls flat for me.
Well, I think there's also an issue with it being that gritty, and yet it's PG-13. I mean, he's biting people's fingers off. They're showing clawing someone's head open. Like, there are a lot of scenes here where I was like, whoa, what is the demographic being targeted for this? Like, who's supposed to be watching this? But then the lessons that he's trying to learn and overcome with his inner dialogue are all like adolescent. How do I control my anger and my temper? And
We're
it's
going to
not all
sell you
my
into
fault. And
slavery and get your brains.
yeah,
But, oh, by the way, we're going to
exactly.
have a quirky spraying of spray paint on the wall. It's like,
Right.
where's
What
your
is the
tone?
flavor? Who are you targeting this to? I was really hard time with that.
Yeah.
Quick note, just because I feel like someone's already typing it in the comment section.
Mm.
For those that type, um, 12 episodes in Jujutsu Kaisen, there was no consequences yet either. There wasn't the first death till the end of the first season, and then it's the Shibuya arc, really, when it's like, oh, they're dropping like flies. Everyone I loved is gone. Spoilers, small spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen.
I do wonder, maybe my memory's foggy, but I don't remember them like using the consequence of what you as the viewer believe is a death to like increase the scale. Like, the stakes were there in Jujutsu Kaisen because of the scenario, the environment, but I don't remember there being uh, situations where they're like, "Oh, this person's dead, and now you have a superpower up session and you kick butt because they're dead, and all this happens because they're dead," and then the person's like, "I recovered." It happened twice with this, and in 12
Yeah,
episodes, and that's pretty
that's true.
harsh.
Anyway, I know exactly what you're talking about because I in my notes wrote he's dead, and then he wasn't dead, and
Yeah.
then I wrote again he's not dead, and then they're like he is dead, and I'm like oh, and then they're like oh no he's not dead. And I'm like you know what? All right, I'm gonna keep going forward.
Okay.
So Rudo lives on the poor side of town. There's a wall. Don't say it. There's a wall, and there's poor people on the other side. But the poor people are mean too. They don't like Rudo because he likes garbage. Even though everyone looks like they're dressed in trash rags anyway, but apparently he's the trashiest, raggiest of them all. And the bullies make fun of him. This girl seems to like him, and then his adopted dad is like giving him advice, but also yelling at him for trash rummaging, telling him to go flirt with that girl. And we find out he has these scarring on his hands and like wrist, and that's why he wears gloves all the time. They help deal with the pain. They're not burns, but they look like burns. And again, he's very mysterious, and his parents are mysteriously gone, and so yeah, he's got some backstory that's going to
Come to
tie
find
back
out
to
his
everything.
dad was a criminal and a murderer.
Yeah, his bullies are like, your dad was a murderer. He goes to the pit where they dump criminals into
And trash.
garbage and trash. Yeah, that's where they throw all their trash. And the cute girl comes up and talks to him, and then he manages to flirt with her a little bit. He gives her the bunny that he found in the trash. And then he runs home to tell his dad about it, and his dad's being murdered. And then
Adoptive dad, right?
I did say that.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the cops show up right then and see him, and they're like, "You
The
must
apostles.
be the murderer."
Yeah.
Isn't that what they were called?
He's crying
Yes.
over his adoptive dad, saying that he's going to try and save him, and they're like, "You must have killed him."
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So ridiculous.
Okay. Well, if we see the apostles walking by that exact moment right before the murder happens, this feels very much like a setup.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
They already knew he was going to be in there with a murdered man, and yeah. But yes, it's like very clear he didn't do it. He's literally begging them, like, "We can save him." They're like, "Nope, murder you." He's like, "You're still alive. I'm not
did
dead
this."
yet."
All right.
Monty Python bit. So he's dumped into the pit, and the girl's like, "Oh, you were just a murderer. I don't want this bunny anymore." And then he's dropped, and we're taken through like a weird visual thing. Like he drops into blackness, everything becomes outlines. Clearly, not just dropping from that height and surviving. So something weird happens in the transfer. But he wakes up and he's on the ground. Figures out his city was flying. And he's on the ground in a garbage wasteland. And there's monsters. The garbage turns into giant kaiju monsters.
Trash beasts.
Trash beast. Because in this anime, items get souls if you care about them.
But not the trash
where the monsters
beasts.
come from.
Because if you don't care about them, they get evil souls.
No.
All right.
It's coalesced emotion called animus, which then starts picking up trash around it and become the beast.
How is that different from what I said?
It's not a soul. It's just
not a soul.
Emotion.
Yeah.
It's just raw negative emotion. A soul like implies that there's some sentience behind it or some life force behind it, like something central holding it together. But
We do see a trash beast later with that.
Real thing. Yes, that is true.
Okay.
But also that item,
even to them.
and that item was beat up. The only way that you can get your special item is if it's taken well care of. And
right. So yeah, that's the power system of this anime. You have an item, you love it so much, it turns into a super powered item that gives you powers, and it has powers.
So
Your
the
guys'
lady that
thoughts
married
on the power system.
the lady that married the Eiffel Tower.
Focus.
Sorry, just wondering, the whole Eiffel Tower be made into... Never mind.
Focus.
Well, she didn't love it enough.
Okay. We've watched so much anime doing this show and just watching it on our own. I'm kind of burnt out on the I'm more powerful because I feel more. The power system in this anime just doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's the reason is because it's not just, oh, I feel more strongly about this, therefore I win. It's that there's no semblance of structure to it, so I can't anticipate not necessarily outcomes, but like, oh, you know, he's doing this thing, so therefore he might actually end up being like getting a power boost or whatever, right? And I don't need to foretell a story in order to enjoy it, but I need to be able to make some sort of semblance of sense of it. And so, yeah, I don't need to know the physics of how Superman flies, but I would like to know that if I have, you know, because we come across one of the support staff, and he's in this limbo of, I could be a superhero, I could not be. We'll find out. We don't know if he has an item that he's courting. We don't. and there's no they just say, oh, these superheroes are, you know, they're special. It's like, oh, well, what makes them special? Like, what are the criteria? What are the things I could be looking for other characters that would be showing these signs that I could go, oh, maybe down the road that character is going to turn into one of these superpowered beings? There's none of that. And I know we're only 12 episodes into a 500 episode shonen, whatever, right? But we don't even get sprinklings of it. We don't get any sort. And the thing is that the first like 6 episodes are about the function of how Rudo is going to do his power. Like, he's trying to figure out they literally say on off switch. That tells me that there's a mechanism to this, and they don't bother to explore it at all. And so, yeah, that's my complaint.
It was, I don't know, it came across a little bit differently to me. And it could just be, did you watch dub?
No, I always watch sub.
It only is in
Or
sub?
no. I
Okay.
always watch dub. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I always get the two
that's what I
mixed
thought.
up.
Yeah. Because I don't remember the on off switch. What I remember is they're like, how do you I guess you could say principally it's the same, but um it came across more as like, how do you know when your power's working? And he's like, oh, it feels like this. It doesn't feel the same right now. I can't get it to work right. Um I thought they were doing a reasonable job exploring his power. I actually thought it was pretty cool that they were having little test scenarios where they were like, hey, can you activate more than one item at a time? Is it
Hmm.
going to disintegrate like that other one? Um, and how much of how much does it tax you? Those were interesting. And I don't know. I guess that maybe that's also part of the tropes of like Bleach and Naruto and stuff where they're testing out their techniques and things like that. But at least for me, having not watched a ton of those, this I thought was at least an interesting exploration where they didn't just, go in and discover it during combat, but they actually took some time and they cleverly thought about the extents of his abilities. I liked that. Um, as far as like the animus and the vital weapons, I think they're called.
Vital instruments.
Vital instruments, yeah. I like the idea a lot. I think the concept is really cool. Um, essentially you're pouring so much positive, you could say positive emotion or attachment into this that it attracts a soul. That's how I interpreted it. Not that it necessarily like spawns a soul, and maybe that's what it does, but I interpreted it as it attracts a soul into it that is then going to adhere to um, the framework that you've set up by how you view this item. And it almost came across as a gamification. Like I could see them working on a gotcha game for this very easily because when Engine was talking about, yeah, like how much you care about your items, well, that levels up their quality. And I'm like, oh God, no, don't say it like that. Don't say it like that. It's such a video game mechanic at that point.
Triple
Um,
S.
yeah, exactly. And so there, it's interesting. It's something that I at least haven't seen before in the context of trash. Um, and so, but it's not really trash because these items, they didn't fish them out of the trash. They may be heirlooms. They could be anything. Um, but I don't know. I like the power set. I like the how they're trying to use it. But I agree, Jason. I don't like their power scaling. I don't find it consistent. I don't find it understandable. Um, a character he just does better because he does better, and if he needs to for the fight to last the right amount of time, he will,
Yep.
and he'll find a way out of whatever counter that you may have provided. And yeah, we haven't gotten introduced to a lot of characters yet, so maybe we'll get more of a sense of where everybody stacks up. But I also think that's very important because you don't know what's at stake and how dangerous the environment is or the scenario if you can't even place the two fighters, and you're like, okay, is he stronger than this guy? And is this guy stronger than this guy? Then okay, he's gonna beat this guy. It's hard to even do that, especially like in the later fight when they were all up in as a group in the tower. Like I don't know where they all stand in relation to each other. I have no clue.
And
Um,
just to like bounce off that just a second, like they
Mhm.
spend a lot of time on this character Engine we're going to meet here shortly,
Yeah.
and how he's just top of the top as far as power scaling. And we get one scene where he single-handedly takes out some trash beasts, but besides that, all we get is hype from him. Like not from him, but from the people around him, hyping him up.
Yeah.
Um, it's hard to go, oh, he's X powerful because of where the others stand. I don't. We watch Scissor Lady fight more than anyone else.
Yeah, yeah. And there's also an issue, I think, with just like how the fights play out. There's so much talking and exposition in them, and it's
That's shonen.
oh, but it's so painful because it's also of things that you clearly understood from the fight. Like you picked
Oh,
up,
it's old shonen.
Yeah.
It's so that was killing me. I was
It
yelling at the television. Move on. Go, go, go. I get it. I understand. I don't need to be told this. Have some
watch
respect for your audience. Let's go.
watch any of the fights between either Goku, Vegeta, Goku, Frieza, Frieza, Vegeta. It's just all talking with some punches and
Well, and the talking in this was describing the fight, like
yeah.
describing, well, this is I did this thing because of that, and I'm gonna do this now, and ha ha ha, and we're doing. Oh, you
No,
figured out this thing that I did because if you
no,
saw this, and I'm like, you're describing what I saw as the audience to
it's,
me.
it's every fight between Goku and
Oh,
Vegeta. Every single
Okay,
one.
but I do gotta call out. There's a moment where a character monologues their power and then says, "Wait, I shouldn't have told you that."
yeah, there was.
and they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, now we know how to beat you."
yeah, yeah, that was good. That was good.
My thoughts on the power set. I'm not a power scaling guy. Obviously, I was actually upset about the quality remark. Like, don't do that. Don't.
Don't. No.
There's no reason for that. Um,
Nope.
I'm a much bigger fan of. I have this style and I have this style. Or I use these techniques and I use these techniques, and then how do they paper rock scissors against each other? I enjoy that. I enjoy. We'll come to that character, but I enjoyed the fight in the parking garage. Um, and then yeah, he makes the quality thing, and I'm like, now that's a thing. Now, hey, I hit your stick with my stick, and my stick broke your stick. I'd rather they just all have really cool, powerful items that do different things, and then just see which one wins. My biggest issue with this power system is the message. Hey, don't be materialistic, but also find something you really like and just like polish it all the time. Just care about things. And I realize these are like objects that are tied to personal, like Rudo. Hey, I love my gloves because they came from my adoptive father. Um, and I get that that's a real thing. My daughter started watching this. She sat me down. She's like, "Okay, so like all I've been thinking about is like, what would be my item? What would be your item, Dad?" And I'm like,
Right,
I
right.
had I have ADHD. Basically if an object I can't see it, it doesn't exist to me anymore. I'm on my third wedding ring. And
Oh no.
I outgrew my first one. My second one got lost in Hawaii. I'm on my third one. I wear a wedding ring because it's important, but the ring itself is just an object. I just don't have a. I love objects. I'm also not like throw everything out into the garbage either, but it's totally not something that matches with me. I don't have a precious object, and that the idea just doesn't fit with my worldview. And so I'm like, oh, okay, that's a power system, I guess. But like I said, I enjoy the technique versus technique. I don't need another power scaling argument for people to have on the internet. It's just,
It's gonna happen.
oh, he's a SSS, so he beats the SS. The SS can't do anything. And in that thing about the quality, he does say like it's not the most important thing, but it is a factor in the fights. But I just would rather ignore it. I would just be like, let's just say he shoots water, you have big stick. Who would be able to beat each other in a fight? That's my personal belief.
Depends on if the stick was blue or purple when he found it in the loot box.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God. Well, and to your point, your earlier point, um, there is a moment where Engine says in the sub, some people think of us as being codependent with our items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he says that in the dub as well.
Ah, that's it almost seems like givers have a little something wrong with them. you know,
Hmm.
where they have to obsess over something. That thing is just so important to them that the majority of people will never have that kind of a relationship with an item. Um, and I guess that's what makes it rare, which is reasonable, I think,
Right.
in the power sets description.
I do want to call it that. I think Rudo's power is interesting because they can be very creative with it every single fight. They can just grab another
Yeah.
random everyday object, and then what can they do with that to make it interesting? So
It's also
he's
great that it's a one shot. I love that he can only use an item to its
right,
full
right.
potential once.
Okay, so moving forward, giant trash yard, giant trash monsters. Air is poisonous. He tries fighting them off, but even if he does damage, they just regenerate. And then a masked man with an umbrella uses his umbrella as a superpowered weapon that's like a fan blade spike. It doesn't matter. It's a superpowered umbrella. He kills the monster. This is Engine. This is our I'm a really cool mentor. What are you guys' thoughts on Engine?
He was cool.
He was cool.
He was cool. And I liked him as the, straight man. But he was also a great man. There's like a couple quieter moments that he does a really good job explaining, from a wisdom pointed standpoint to a small kid that this is why this thing happened and these are your choices. And if you think about them, I know you'll come to the right decision. I thought those were really good moments. As far as his power set, we only see it like 2 or 3 times. And like, I just don't quite understand what he does except win. He just pulls out his umbrella. And he's like, I win. So,
Umbrella smash.
I like his design. And I like the design of the cleaners outfits. I think really, really cool visually. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Engine.
Yeah, everything you said. I think he's a really interesting mentor. You don't usually see them be so quiet. Yeah, it's fine. Good character.
He's my favorite character, and he's just a bland recreation of the trope.
Yep.
but it's a trope I mostly enjoy. He's Gojo. He's Kakashi. I'm the cool guy that can't take anything seriously. But when things go down, I just beat everybody. And it's a fun trope, but he's not standing out among the crowd that he's in. All right, so they argue, which also is what brought the monsters over. Rudo passes out, wakes up being dragged in chains, starts another argument, gets dropped off at a gas station with some guys, and these guys are like, "Oh, we're gonna help you." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm a." They're like, "Oh wait, you're a spherite. We're gonna capture you and sell you because we hate spherites because this floating city just is constantly dumping garbage." And I'm like, "It's a lot of garbage. Do you see how much garbage there is?" It's like we saw a city, and only half the city like had things. So it's like half a city. I'm sure. Look, there's probably lore. I don't need to question it at this point, but I would like to see an explanation for that.
Well, I'd find it interesting that they still refuse to show us what the sphere is. They'll just call it the sphere, and I want to know, like, how big is the sphere? What is the proportion relative to the ground? Right?
Yeah,
Is
we
it just
haven't
a little
seen it.
satellite thing? And
I
I
guess
think
that's
that
true.
will explain a lot.
No, we haven't seen it. We don't know if there's multiple. We also see ruins of a city. So obviously there was some sort of civilization on the ground before all the trash.
It's a telephone pole all over the place.
Yeah. So it looks like a modern society was there. And then we also see a bunch, normal trash, TVs, kettles, telephone poles, like I said. It's where did it all come from? Some of the trash has been there so long that it's turning back into dirt and like getting crushed up.
Microplastics.
Right. So it's just again, they just kind of dropped the world building off at the pool, and I don't know if I'm going to see it in episode 20, 15 or 415. Like, when are they going to get to the world building? Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to rant.
They force feed Rudo garbage, and he bites off a guy's finger, and then it's like, "You think this is garbage? I'm poor."
And he eats it.
He eats it. He then his power is activated. This is our first time we see his power set, which is whenever he grabs an object with his gloves, it turns into a one-time use or one battle use weapon. It's later described as he draws out a weapon's potential or desires it never got to fulfill, so it can go out in a blaze of glory. So like he grabs a tire and it grows spikes, and a chain, and it turns into a whip chain thing, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think they
It's
said
not
it was his send off. Like, what can I do before you die?
Yeah.
So he beats up these guys again. This is just really an introduction to his powers. Engine meets back up with him, takes him to a doctor, and then is like, "Hey," because he's vowed to go back to his home and kill everybody, which is a great protagonist goal of murdering entire society. It's fine. And he's like, "Hey, you join my team. We're the cleaners. We fight the trash beast to protect people." And maybe I'll give you information, or you'll get information. He's like, "Do you have information?" He's like, "I don't actually have information, but my boss might." So he gives him some money, and then a cat steals it, and he chases the cat, finds a stick, grabs the cat with the stick, and then we find out the stick belongs to the guy who's going to train him on how to use his powers, and they get into an argument, which is we've mentioned the creepy smile because Rudo's like, wait, he tries to talk him down, and he does. He diffuses the situation. He's like, "Now I will smile," and then this guy is just like, "Wait, you're being a jerk again. I hate you." This is Zanka,
Mhm.
the other character, like Megami or Sasuke. He has his thoughts on him.
Um, his comedic beats were probably the best part. Um, his fights were pretty good, but he's supposed to be training Bruto, and we see zero training from him.
That's not
There's
true.
Well, I mean, I guess there was exploring his powers, and then there was
Which
one
is what the
scene where he was.
which is what the training is. Is how do
That's
you
it
get your
though,
powers to work?
so,
because
Yeah,
I would have
not
expected more sparring.
so
and
not
stuff.
refining them, not practicing with them, not
well,
trying to
there
get
hasn't
better
really
and create
been.
new techniques. No,
How
it's
much time? Okay, that's just nitpick to death. It'll make the episode last twice as long, but it's great. It's great. It's good stuff. I'm sure everybody's loving it
I said a thing, you disagreed with me, so I tried
because
to.
there was a training scene
There was one like 2 second training scene.
in a 12 episode series where a one fight can take 3 episodes. Yes, there was
Ugh.
one training episode.
It's
Fine,
just so
whatever.
much
I'm done.
time wasted on other things.
Like
Like there
Like-
could
candy.
have been
Like
more.
inner monologue.
Like the entire Canvas episode. That could have been just a little trip.
That was a
I think
terrible
it's an
packed
important
episode.
onto one of
episode.
the other. Eh.
Important?
It was important, but there was very little that happened in it.
I don't mean in the events of the story. I mean like what it's talking about. That doesn't. We'll get to that when we get to it.
Jeremy, what'd you think of Zonka?
I like him. I think he's funny. He's very much dry humor kind of character. Um, the poop gag was really good. I'll let you talk about that, Troy. Um, I think he's an entertaining character, but definitely a background character.
To me, he's the like I said, he's the straight man for the comedy, which helps the comedy bits land. He's the I'm experienced. I've been in this world with this power system longer than you, and I've worked really hard, so I seem very strong. But here comes this natural talent, born OP, new character that's going to show up. So again, I see him as the Sasuke, the Megami, yada yada yada. Take your pick.
Yep.
And unlike Engine, he doesn't work for me. I found him like a little inconsistent where he's like, I'm the serious tonal guy, and then he'd like get randomly irrational and emotional, and then be like, no, I'm actually the stoic guy of the group. And I'm like, either be the stoic guy or be the irrational guy, but flip flopping is a little odd.
That seemed to be kind of a consistency across most of the characters.
Yeah, they're
They
all
kind of
dysfunctional,
bounce
clearly.
around. Yeah. Yeah.
But like he looks at the other characters like celebrating and being like, "Oh, these people," but then someone smiles at him weird, and he's ready to start a fight again. For
Yeah.
a kid who he knows just got dropped off. Like he kind of knows what's going on here. He's not completely in the dark. Engine called him, and he's just like freaking out on him. Like, oh, you're smiling weird. I'm gonna beat you up with my stick. Like, what? That's you jump to aggression so fast, which I do think is a theme going on here about how quickly they jump into fights. But we'll see. To be determined. I guess I'll leave him. But yeah, so they do start a fight. And Rudo grabs an item, turns it into a weapon. They start fighting, and then Zonka notices something on his cheek, and when he looks at it, it's a poo because Rudo grabbed a plunger, which he's never seen before. They don't have clogging toilets on the sphere. Or they poop in the pit. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
That's part of the reign of trash.
So yeah, so he flees and Rudo sprints after him, swinging the stick around. It goes into slow mo of the poo flying everywhere. Even little kitty, the cat comes back and is like, "No!" What I jump into. They both get picked up by Engine, who thinks it's hilarious. While they're driving to HQ, and in the back of the truck is also Rio, the scissor lady. The scissor kick lady.
Yeah. Scissor kick lady's good.
It was nowhere near that good a joke, which means you thought of something you can't say. You keep it to yourself.
100%.
All right. Your guys' thoughts on Rio?
You're the one who said scissor lady. Anyways, I thought she was great. Well, not great. She was fine. I do.
You want to collect yourself for a second before you just start spouting words, or
You sound like me.
I know, right? I really liked her fights. I also really like her nonchalantness about the trash beasts, because she's just like, yeah, I just go kill him. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. She's obviously been doing this a long time, and her move set with her weapon is pretty cool. Her interactions, they're just boring, I guess. And also she tends to be teasing Rudo in a romantic way, so it's like, well, how old are you? Like
16.
Okay, then it's fine. Yeah, she obviously has a thing for Rudo, or at least she's trying to make him feel that way, and then she's gonna break his heart. I don't know. But yeah, she's fine.
Yeah, I actually had to look it up just now because I was like, I can't tell the art style and everything in this one. It is really hard to tell the ages of the characters. I just don't know, and it is interesting context. I don't know what to think of her really. I find her interesting because she's nosy, and because she just inserts herself into things whether she's wanted or not, and that's funny. Like when she was messing around with his hair, and then later you find out he had crap on his neck, and I was like, wait, she was messing around with his hair while he had crap on the back of his neck. She didn't notice. Like, it's just funny little things like that. She's fine as a character. I just don't think that she's developed much. Again, it's 12 episodes into a big shonen. She's fine. She's fine. She's in the introduction stage.
Yep, she is fine. Welcome back, Sakura. Actually, missing the love triangle element, just
Right
here and being flirtatious, and clearly has some trauma in her backstory, like probably every character here. My first question seeing her was like, who loves their scissors that much? But you can say that about any item, so that's not really a fair criticism.
I've known a couple hairstylists that the way they take care of their scissors is like how you would a chef taking care of their knives, like
oiling, hand sharpening.
Yeah.
Kit. And she's great, but also, but she's terrible. That's how you do it, right, Jason?
What?
Nothing. Moving on.
Don't understand.
Flip it and reverse it.
They go to HQ where we meet the receptionist, who we're not going to talk about, but I did think she was really cool. She has glasses that let you see your power level. Bleep, over 9,000 and
Yes.
poo on your neck.
Yes.
However, the boss of the cleaners is out, so Rio's like, "Hey, I'm not going on a job. Come with me." And then they go and they fight a bunch of beasts, and he's like, "Ah, the beast," and she's like, "Yeah, I've been doing this job for a long time. It's not that big a deal. First day on the job versus 5 years on the job, completely normal." However, one of the beasts is super powerful and regenerates, and she has to kill a vital instrument that's inside of it. Also,
Which is a
Rudo
box cutter. Probably will matter at
Yes.
some point.
We do meet the supporters. These are human, non-powered characters that go with the cleaners
The
to
cleaners are human
provide
too.
support. Yeah, but I'm just saying these guys don't have powers.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You're right. The cleaners are not antelope. They are humans.
Antelope.
It's first animal I could think of.
Oh, okay. You started A. I can't
Yes.
fault you.
Sorry. I skipped right past Aardvark.
Yeah, you did.
Rudo protects one of these supporters from a trash beast, but his power falters because he's not sure how to use it yet, and Rio has to save him. And then he goes on a huge guilt spiral about how he sucks.
Makes
Yep.
everything worse.
Yep.
And then we see one of the Savagers, the one that got his finger bit off, is being attacked by somebody. Ooh, who could that be? Back at HQ, they're having a party to celebrate Rudo getting there, even though he's not partying because he's in a depression. So one of the Gris, the tough supporter and boss of them, comes up and is like, "Hey, kid, you did cool stuff." And then a spray painter, graffiti artist shows up and just starts tagging a wall. And everyone's like, "Whoa, I can't breathe!" And I'm like, "You're all." There's like half of the people are smoking in this non-ventilated room. I don't think it's gonna make that big a difference. Zonka gets a mission, and they decided to send Rudo because it's about a spherite that's been spotted. So they decided to send the other spherite. But guess what? It's a trap, even though they're like, this is probably a trap. But then it turns out it is a trap. And they're attacked by a lady who controls mud puppets and a guy with shoes so he can run on the mud. And then Zonka's like, I beat my stick so many times, you can't defeat me. I feel like I should have phrased that differently. Doesn't matter. He wins.
Phrasing.
But the bad guy from the last episode we saw sneaks up on Zonka. And then the next episode, Rudo and the supporters are going to escape, but this bad guy shows up, and his name is Jabber. And we're going to talk about Jabber, but I want to finish this scene because Gris is like, I'm going to protect Rudo. And Rudo's like, no, you should go before you get hurt. I can handle this. And then Jabber's like, I already killed him. And
I thought
that was
great.
actually, that's a great scene. I haven't seen that before. That was because yeah, they're very much following the hey, leave, I'll handle this. But then to be like, while you were talking, I've murdered him. Just so you know. That was really cool. Doesn't pay off. They kind of throw it down the river, but it was a cool moment. Now let's talk about Jabber.
It's a masochist psychopath.
Subarashi. It's another.
Yeah. He was just too comically evil that I just couldn't take any of the fight seriously. He just wanted to hurt people. Like, he had a job to capture Rudo, but like, he's just like, I'm gonna kill people because I want to, and I'm evil, and I have Freddy Krueger claws. It's like, okay.
Well, he did specifically hate weak people. Like, I want to kill weak.
He doesn't want to hurt people. He wants to fight people to get hurt. He's a
masochist.
He's a masochist.
Yeah.
But he does like go out of his way to finish off weak people, and then he lets the strong ones live. Like, they're worthy of life.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan. Plus, I didn't like this fight because they broke their own rules. So that's what it is.
I want to hear more about that. But for Jabber, he's fine. I generally like the crazy characters. I kind of thought he overstayed his welcome, though. Um, he just kept being able to survive all of the different things that they threw at him and winning no
Yeah.
matter what and rebounding everything. And you do that once or twice. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But 4 or 5 times, I'm like, I'm over it. Is this fight done yet? Let's go. Let's move on. Especially because they were just having that constant back and forth about, oh, I think I figured out how your power works. It works like this, and I'm like, yeah, I know, we know it works like that. We could tell it worked like that. Um, the eye. So yeah, I do. I am curious. Actually, I'm not. I'm not curious anything about this character. I'm done with him.
Yeah, I'll say I like the fight, and I was like, this is a perfectly good. This is really our first fight. We've beat some monsters. We've seen some, heroes brawl each other for a second until poop gets flung. But this is our first real fight. Even the mud fight was just a hey, here's how his power really works. You need to see it. Um, and I was like, oh, this is fine. But then, like you said, he's not going down, and he's also very clearly coming back. And I'm like, oh, like a long term character? That's what we're doing? Okay. All right. Yeah, sure. He
I,
where's you thin really quick.
Yeah.
Why didn't they attack him when the portal was open? Like they're just all standing there around him, and they're like, "We got you. We surrounded you. There's 5 of us." And he's talking to them as he backs through the portals. Like he doesn't even start backing. They ah.
Yep.
He's
Also,
also
wait, when Zonka gets the better of him at the final half of the fight, look, there's
should we talk about the fight?
Sure.
Should we just okay?
Yeah, go for it.
So
Horrible fight.
So because he killed Gris, Rudo uses Gris's talisman that he prays for safety on before every mission. It had been properly set up in the anime, not in my backstory. But it turns into this like big flying thing with hands that will literally teleport people away whenever they try to hurt Rudo.
Really cool. I actually really liked this weapon of his.
Jabber figures it out because he hit some concrete and went flying at him, and the thing didn't work against the concrete. He's like, "Oh, it detects intent, so I'm going to poison." He has poison. He has rings that turn into claws, and one hand is full of basically adrenaline, and one hand is full of poison. And he poisons himself so that he'll become a mindless berserker. So that way, the thing can't read intent, which is still seems like it would have intent. But what do I know about berserking? And that's when Zonka, who had already been poisoned but was able to get up, shows up, and they start fighting together. They manage to beat him by combining their 2 powers, with Zonka trying to hit Rudo, thus he teleports to hit.
Zonka's power is hit. I hit.
I hit things with a stick. And after they beat him, though, Jabber just puts the other thing into him. He's like, I'm better, and I poisoned you again, and now I'm running away. Thoughts on the fight?
The visuals of the fight, especially before Zonka comes in, are pretty cool. I also like the talisman, like it transforming into like this protective entity. That was rad. Zonka teleporting around because he's trying to hit Rudo, which was also funny, but also ended up being really cool. Couple problems with the fight. One, when the idea that the concrete being flung at Rudo was without intent is garbage. That's a terrible way to write that, because it was flung at him with the intention. Therefore, intention was behind it. The talisman would have known. It was their own setup. Oh, okay, so if I throw a rock, the now there's no intention.
The rock doesn't have intent.
Okay, so bullets don't have intention too, right? So if I shoot a gun at him, okay, that's dumb. There's obviously intention. There's obviously intention behind the kinetic energy being given to the thing.
But it's over there. Like the intention is still
okay. So when
fired it.
Okay, so when Jabber gets close to him and he's going at him, his claws are they're physical items, so they don't have intention. So there's no reason for the claws to have missed, right?
If it's attached to his body, then you stop his body moving. The rock isn't attached to his body.
Okay, they
Therefore, it
didn't
has
make
its
that.
own trajectory.
They didn't make that distinction. So
Also, remember, it works. It works when as soon as Jabber is mindless and still attacking.
okay,
Mhm.
and that's my
it
second
stops
issue with the
working.
fight. That's my second issue with the fight. Even a mindless animal, if it's attacking, there is intention to do the attack, whether he's conscious of it or not.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
there still is the action, and that action is done with intention from the brain, subconsciously or not.
Mhm.
I didn't
I
buy
agree
it.
with you on that one.
Yeah, I
I agree with you on that one.
I don't like
Because
any of it.
yeah, because it would have made sense if Jabber was just flailing about maniacally,
Yeah.
and
Like, yeah,
nothing
I'm attacking this
targeted
pillar. Now I'm
specifically.
attacking this human. Now I'm attacking the
Exactly.
ceiling.
Yeah, like I'm literally just flying around, and if I hit you, I hit you. Then I think that would have followed the same rule as the rocks, where
If,
like you are
if you run
literally
into
just
my
a
fist,
thing. Yeah, you're a thing moving through the environment. You don't care what you're hitting. You're just swinging wildly. That would have worked to me. But the fact that he was still charging meant that it
yeah.
wasn't intent to do harm. It was literally conscious intent to do harm, like actual consciousness, thought going into it, intention to do harm, not just the general idea of, you know,
And my
of
third really
getting
biggest
something
issue,
going.
my
Mhm.
third real biggest issue with this is there was no, normally in these super powered stories, there's some sort of defensive mechanism or some sort of reason that these people or super beings can take large hit to where they hit concrete and they crack the concrete behind them, like
Mhm.
like the super saiyan or just regular saiyans, right? They're aliens, so they have a bigger physique, they can take those kind of hits. Zonka not only has a spiked weapon that turns into metal, but he hits him like 5 times hard enough to murder literally anyone else.
In the head too.
Right. Jabber's
Yeah.
dead. Like
Yeah,
unless
he
there's
should be.
unless there's some sort of other explanation why he was able to take those hits, I'm just completely disconnected. Like the fact that he got up, I was immediately disappointed. Like, if you
I
don't want him to die from this fight, those hits should not have been a thing.
I think that's more of just a broader criticism of shonen in general. And also especially just like all the combat scenes in this and just how the power system works, because it seems like these guys, when they power up and they use their item, they get some kind of like super strength and special shield. Like it just, they haven't talked about it, but I don't know any other way to justify why all of them seem to be able to like be blown through concrete and stuff
Yeah.
or leave craters. Um, but I don't know. That's something where if they're all doing it, then I guess it's just part of the power system and it just hasn't been fully explained. That's just something we're supposed to accept.
Yeah, I think the anime is clearly stylized, and at no point should realism physics be applied to damage. I mean, we are 5 seconds into the first episode of this anime, and a 15-year-old kid, dodges bullets.
Yeah, but he's really fast. They said he was fast.
He's
They
really
did say it was
fast,
fast.
but that means superhumans just exist in this world because
Right.
no one's like that's impossible. They're just like, oh, he's fast enough to dodge bullets. I guess that's a thing.
But the bullet still
There-
penetrated him when it hit him. It went through his shoulder and he was bleeding.
True, true. I'm just saying. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, okay, so it's super stylized combat. Like, there's not physics are not something I need to be stressing about going forward.
But when I watched
Well,
Jujutsu Kaisen, like they use cursed energy and they know how to manipulate that cursed energy to be able to take blows. Like that is an established fact in the anime, right?
And in
Like-
Chainsaw Man, yeah, any little damage has an effect. They have to drink blood to regenerate. That is something they do. It's
Yeah, and there's
not
just-
what they do here.
It's not addressed, and I don't like it.
Well, I think that the reason it matters is because you don't know just what it takes to put a person down. Like, when is the fight going to be over? what's at stake again? Like, how hard is this fight going to be? Um,
Yeah, what are the
because
stakes?
really, just yeah, anybody can take any amount of punishment to make the fight last as long as it needs to, and to accomplish what the writer wants. And that's, I don't know, it feels hollow. It's a lot harder to watch.
It's then this happened, then this happened, then this happened.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
That's just not interesting storytelling.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that because that's about actual storytelling beats. But
Oh,
I,
ouch.
I no. I get your guys' point about hey, it takes away the stakes, and I agree. I'm not a huge fan of it myself. It can be done better. You can come up with in-universe reasons why a certain amount of beyond human levels of sustainability damage can happen. And that doesn't mean there's not a reason. They just haven't told us in the first 12 episodes.
Right.
These could just be a world of superhumans who live in a garbage world. And just everyone can take a concrete barrier to the back and be fine. But like you said, if they don't establish that, then how do I know when that's a kill shot or that's a KO or they need to dodge that because that'll hurt? You 100% agree with that.
Yeah, they'll have a healer. Cut his heart out. He'll be fine. They got a healer.
I was just saying that, and this can happen, or this happens, and this happens. This happens is actually like a story beat thing, not a fight element.
Yeah, but this fight felt that way because it was like, you know, they start the fight, and then Zonka shows up, and then Zonka hits him real hard, like that should kill him. Oh, and then he gets up, and he's better, and and then he's magically scraped them with his poison somehow. Like,
It's like the cause and effect consequence of the fight is disregarded in favor of what the writer wants to do.
yeah, we needed Jabber to kidnap Rudo, and so off screen he got in some shots that we didn't see. That felt cheap.
I do want to call out that I thought it was cool that Jabber figures out Rudo's secret to how his power is working in this fight, and still allows himself to take like another half dozen blows. Just gets smashed and molly up by this giant, talisman.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, by the way, a while ago I figured this out. Here's how I'm gonna beat you. Just wanted to get hit a few more times.
Just wanted the pain.
Because you see him figure it out, and then he's just like, yep, I'm gonna keep getting hit. It's cool.
Feels good.
Again, he's a masochist. It fits in. I thought that was neat that you see him figure it out. And I was like, oh, maybe he didn't. And then, oh, no, he just likes the hit.
I just remembered there was one other thing I didn't like about the fight, and that was I liked it when the talisman had full control and it was automated. And when hostile intent to harm happened, it would alter the trajectory of the person attacking you so that they would miss. It would make them move. That's how I understood it initially when it was just Jabber. But then when Zonka showed up, all of a sudden Rudo was like doing moves where he was like twisting him and sending him places, and I'm like,
he was doing hand motions against just Jabber though. Like Jabber would come up and
just him like dodging or like moving to the side.
No, I think
he did.
I think he was brushing him away.
He did have some hand movements.
I think that's it's a less interesting power. I like it more when the talisman is the one that is doing it, because that just means that the talisman is literally just like locking the person and then giving you telekinetic control over them, which is fine. But it sounded like the way it was described in the sub, at least, was the talisman is stopping you and moving you. But I didn't understand that Rudo was actually the movement force.
And it was also described as a protection talisman, which is why I don't buy the concrete being flown at him not being something it can protect you from.
Yeah, I understand that take. Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to bring up stuff to waste time. Troy, why don't you move on?
This arbitrary rule they made for this arbitrary fight feels arbitrary to me. Oh no. You're not wrong. It's just
that's a misrepresentation.
It's not anything I wasted brain cells thinking about. I was just like, oh, that's dumb. I'm moving on.
if you set up your own rules and then you disregard your own rules, it's frustrating to watch for me. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel.
I'm usually right there with you. I didn't think it was quite as egregious this time, but
Yeah, but you're complaining about a rule they didn't set up that you wanted them to have set up.
What, the damage?
No, the talisman. You wanted the talisman to work a certain way. They said it works this way, and you're like, no, it should also work. Should work this way.
Okay, yes, I did complain about the concrete. I can disregard that. It was the berserker's state that I was more concerned about because he still has intent. I'm sorry.
Which we all agreed with. I think
Yes.
intent is the wrong word to have used in
I agree.
the anime. It's probably the biggest issue.
Yep.
All right, I'm going forward. Jabber, he's got him. He's running away. But oh look, here come Engine and a bunch of his buddies because some of the supporters got away and they called for help. And they stopped Jabber, and then by the way, Jabber works for the Raiders. Raiders are the bad guys. And then another Raider shows up who uses a manhole to teleport, and Jabber's like, no, I'm going to keep fighting because I was told not to fail. And then the teleporter's like, no, we're leaving. The boss was smiling when he said it. And then he's like, okay, I'm leaving. And they jump in the portal and they leave.
what is?
But he
this
calls out,
weird-
he recognizes
weird
the symbols on Rudo's gloves.
This is part of a series.
Yes. And then Grizz dies again. Because I already wrote he was dead. Then the next episode starts and they go see Grizz. He's alive. Fake out.
Yep.
Switcheroo.
And the nurse doesn't bother to look at Rudo's wounded hands ever.
Oh, the burning of the hands.
Yeah, we have we meet our healer. Team has a healer. And then the boss shows up and he's like, Rudo, I heard you want to join my team, but your reasons are completely selfish. So I'm not gonna let you join my team. By the way, you're in.
Yeah.
I just changed my mind. You're on the team.
Flip it and reverse it.
Because it was so random the way he's like, first I'm like, oh, he's telling him he's got to drop his goal, and so that'll become like a backseat plot. Like I will get there, but I need to focus on this cleaner job. But then like 5 seconds later, like, okay, we're gonna help you with this selfish goal. I just was upset that you were completely focused on. We're gonna completely focus on it now. Let's go.
That'll be your next mission.
So Rudo gets his uniform, and then he's like, I'm leaving. And they're like, don't leave. We need to relax. And then he eats candy and he gets super fat. And then we have a discussion about his powers, which is again where we find out he draws out their desire, whatever they wanted to do before they expired. And he can only do it 3 at a time or 3 at max before he poops out.
I don't think a number was expressed, but like he could probably do 5 if he got better at it, but at least right now he gets a bloody nose.
I assume the number is changing. It reminded me of Deku. You can only do this once.
Per
Per
finger.
Per finger. Okay, now I can do it at 20% in every finger. Okay. Then the other. Oh yeah, the Raiders report to their boss.
And we see his
Rudo
symbol on his back.
Yes. Rudo washes his gloves, and then Rio's in his bed, and then she leaves because she asks about his scars. And then he finds out they're making him his full face, the top half of his mask, for going into no man's land where the poison and the garbage is the biggest. But first they have to go see the spray painting tagger, the graffiti artist. So they go to Art Town, where there's some Looney Tunes shenanigans. I honestly thought it was going to be a painted tunnel that they just kept walking into, but it ended up being actually a magical barrier. So I was off, but I wrote Looney Tunes anyway. Yeah. So apparently there's a graffiti artist who can cast any magic spell he wants with art, and they're going to go there to get protection spells. But they found out he died yesterday because he kept going out into the poisonous areas and caught the black lung pop. He died. And then there's a little
I may.
kid who is inheriting the tool and the magic marker. Gets the magic marker, it turns into a magic paintbrush, and they, after morning, decide they're gonna throw a celebration. And you're right about one thing, Jeremy. Not a lot of notes on this episode. Second, maybe it's plot wasting. I enjoyed the topic of grief, especially since we have already had a father get killed. I thought we should really talk about Rudo's grief a lot more. And there are cultures who are like, we celebrate life after a death instead of mourning a life after death. So I thought it was cool. I thought it just maybe could have been faster, or if everything else was better paced. But I'm all good for a theme exploration, so I didn't have an issue with this episode. But that was the whole episode.
Yeah, was duration. Like, this could have been a third of the episode, and it would have been just as impactful.
Not just that, but like the whole guy died, and we have a successor, and they're then going to be the new spellcaster. It didn't add anything to the story. Like, for one, the guy that died, we get one scene with him, and he has near zero dialogue, so we have no attachment to him as a character. So like him dying, we just we feel the pain of, say, Engine, because Engine knew him, but like it felt very hollow, because it was like we don't have any attachment to this person, and so it felt fillerish. It was just like, we're doing this whole danceroo just to get a protection spell, and it's like, did we really need?
Like, I didn't like. They live in a very dangerous world. They talk about how some cleaners never come back from the no man's land. They have support guys that are just regular people that go out and fight with them. I'm sure those guys die on a regular basis. Death is very common here. They say people die just because of the trash rain. Trash falls on them and they die. I didn't understand why Engine and some of the others had so much drama and so much shock about this guy. The guy, they know that he goes out into dangerous places and to do his tags, and they're like celebrating. Yeah, this guy, he does what he wants to do. He doesn't care what the consequences will be. He's just gonna go out there and do it. And so then when the guy dies, they're all like, "Oh my god, he died? What? Oh, I can't believe he died." And I'm just sitting there like, how? He's part of a lineage. They hand this pen down. He's had other people that came before him that died, and he got the pen. Death is normal here. It was way too like overemphasized, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I died for my art because I have to paint where I feel the inspiration. It's like, you couldn't wear a mask?
Exactly.
Like,
why don't you paint on yourself immune to black lung? Like, come on.
No, this whole artsy fartsy part just didn't jive with me.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, it directly connects to Rudo's character, who's also mourning his father, and shows him a different, better way of handling it, which is something he could probably use some help with. So I think there's a good reason for addressing the topic. I think that's why you even go through the thing of having a character who doesn't matter to our story at all die. It's really to introduce another character who helps Rudo see a different worldview on mourning. And I mean, they're his friend. I didn't see anybody like weeping or gnashing of teeth. They're just like, oh God, this person I like died. That's sad. Anyway, we're going on the mission, and you're like, that's too much.
Oh, it is.
How dare they?
It was too much.
Yeah, way too much.
I saw another message. There was another message. The message was, Rudo is constantly pushing forward, and he's just going to do what he wants to do. Nobody's going to get in his way. It is hard for him to stop. So when he saw that artist, and that's what they said about the artist, that was like great. It was reinforcement of his own mindset. And now the artist is dead, so he's seeing that, oh, if I just do what I want and I pursue what my goal is without any thought to the consequence or cause and effect situation from that, I could also die. I never thought of that.
I didn't see him do that at all. His entire like breakdown was, or the thought process was watching the fireworks and being like, oh,
No,
that's
they were
like
talking
they
about it.
focused on it.
They were talking about it during the time that
This
they were all sitting in the room, and Engine's like, "Oh my gosh, he's dead. Yeah, that guy always did what he wanted." And then there was like a flashback to the guy, and they're like, "Yeah, he always did what he wanted." And then Rudo's like, "Oh,"
Well,
and
they
you
had a
can't.
flashback because we've only seen him for 5 seconds. You should have to remind the audience who this was.
That makes it worse.
this whole
Care, audience, care.
yeah, this whole message of, you know, his adoptive dad died and he hasn't dealt with that grief would have not only hit home much harder, but would have been way better facilitated if support guy had actually died. Like
Mhm.
if he did his best, couldn't save him, another person that he cares about got stabbed in the chest and died. That would have been so much more impactful.
Or if Rudo had been bringing this up a lot and thinking about it a lot. I think we have like one scene where there's a flashback to it near the beginning of him being down here. And then after that, he doesn't really talk about his adopted dad's murder.
We get like 3 or 4 flashbacks of his dad, though. Like every major scene for Rudo comes with a flashback to his dad,
Yeah.
giving him
Yeah.
advice or giving him the gloves or just some. Really, every
I
major moment
guess.
Rudo has comes with a flashback. And I don't think it was, hey, you need to deal with your emotions. It's just Rudo handles everything so negatively. It was showing someone handling a negative situation with a positive spin on it. Again, I don't think we needed a whole episode to deal with it.
Mhm.
I think what they did has a purpose in here. It's not about Job. It's about dealing with the death of Job, which to us, the audience,
Oh, that
doesn't
was his
matter.
name?
Absolutely,
I didn't know
yes.
his name.
It's either Job or Job, but it doesn't matter to us. And I don't
Yeah.
think any character overreacted. It's not like Engine
I
went
do.
and drank himself silly for a week or anything. They were just like, oh, this person I was friends with is dead. Yes, he did dangerous things. They're not like even that shocked. They're like, oh yeah, that makes sense
Oh,
that he
they're
would
shocked.
have died.
This is anime. The expressions and everything, they matter. That they
Yeah,
were
they're
surprised.
shocked because it just happened. They literally came here to see him, and he died yesterday, which I think is a little too convenient. Hey,
Yeah,
this
way
person you
too
want to see, they
convenient.
died 24 hours ago. That's a little bit on the nose, but
Well, they did
it's
say
fine.
nobody's heard from
But
him
they
in
have
quite a
phones,
while.
yeah,
So he
and
was
they
sick.
have phones in this world, so you have to make it a short time frame, so they hadn't heard about it.
They didn't have his blood on
Because
their
they
phone.
call HQ, and HQ is literally like, yeah, we just got the call, so sorry about that. So it's mostly fine. It's just probably only needed to be half an episode instead of a full episode.
More like
Order.
5 minutes.
Yeah, we wouldn't want these artsy fartsies in this anime about artists.
Which Tanya was constantly saying during this episode, oh my God, this is so boring.
Right?
What is happening here? This was when she was saying, I think I'm going to give it a 2.
The kid draws. We've had Tanya's time, so
No more messages from her.
No
so they
more.
get protection spells drawn on them. I did like this kid pulls out a tattoo gun.
That was smart.
Yeah.
It would have been smart, yes. It made because like Engine's covered in tattoos, and I was like, oh, maybe that's what the
That's what I
no,
wondered.
that's not because he was surprised that it became a tattoo gun. No one's used it as a tattoo gun before, but yes, it would be smart. Well, unless it's still one-time use, whether it's
Yeah,
tattooed or
exactly.
not.
Yeah,
Well,
you
then
get
make
a
it a
tattoo of-
make it a
That-
forever
that's
protection spell. Jeez.
But she
maybe
can't.
they can't.
I don't think she can.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't just make up arbitrary rules that you want them to have. Again,
They make up arbitrary junk.
yes, they're the writers. That's what you do when you write a story. You make up arbitrary rules. The audience will come along and say, I want to add an addendum. All right, we're going forward. Protection spells.
The
Then
errata.
they give Rudo a pile of trash, so he has a bunch of weapons. They see his full face. It looks like a wolf fox face.
Angry red face.
They go to no man's land after putting blood on each other's neck collars. That's not weird. And then they battle giant scorpion trash monsters, and we get to see everyone's powers working.
No, we don't.
Not everyone.
Not everyone. Yeah, we did just meet
Dolman and Tamsi.
Delman and Tamsi. Delman's a huge giant guy with a heart of gold, and Tamsi's a mysterious partner.
Thread
Little
spinner.
guy.
Yeah.
Thread
Yep.
spinner. I want to call out because we've been told that Rudo's power is to pull out an object's latent desire for its final thing. And in this wing, he finds a keyboard and types a curse word into it that it kills one of the scorpions. And I'm like, so this keyboard just wanted to troll people online. That's what its dream was. I just want to call people a-hole.
I thought
Right?
the same thing. I was like, it's not going to disintegrate, right? It's not going to disintegrate. And then it disintegrated. I'm like,
All I
no.
wanted was just to type one curse word on the internet. That's all I've ever dreamed. Okay. After the battle, a mysterious girl walks out of the desert. This is Amo. We're not going to do a character discussion of Amo because her backstory is in the
why?
next episode.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Here's some background story. I finished this anime and I'm like, what is the deal with this? Why are people loving this so much? Just typed it out on Reddit. Was going to go read some quick reviews. Again, I'm just looking for what people think. It's why we have Jade's voice note at the beginning. I just wasn't getting it. And 9 out of 10 threads are about how awesome Amo is. She is a fan favorite, and I have no idea why. And apparently, it's going to come up here soon. So,
The way
we're
she's
saving Amos.
I know.
No,
It's the character design. Like, what?
but also,
What is it?
I mean,
She's just another
Yeah.
crazy bad guy so far.
from
so what
I've been
animes
told,
can I not pick?
It has not been spoiled. You guys need to listen to this because apparently you're going to regret these jokes later.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Apparently there's a reason she's dressed the way she is, and we're finding out in the next episode. And my daughter, very female empowered daughter, is like, it's the best backstory and reason for a woman to be dressed that way I've ever seen. And she was so into it. And so, yes, she's drawn that way for a reason, but we don't know that reason yet. So we're saving her character discussion for next time. Thank you for all the jokes. We'll make sure we replay them in our next episode.
Hey, sounds good to me.
Yep.
Maybe. I don't actually know what the reason is. It might not actually work. So
Ah.
we'll find out together.
Well, since we're not expounding upon it, I didn't like that character.
I'm saving my thing. We don't know enough about her.
Okay, fair enough.
I find her
We're
super
not-
interesting, and her psychosis is
Well,
cool.
we-
But
I mean, we've talked about every other character in just 12 episodes. We're not even gonna like give. An opinion
Apparently,
on what
there's
we
some
thought of her so
sensitive
far.
topics we need to know about before giving
Well,
final
I don't know
opinions.
that these exist. I'm
Well,
not aware
then
of
we
any
will
sensitive
hold our
topics.
opinions.
I mean,
As
if
the
you
anime
wanna-
flips her upside down. Okay.
I don't know what's coming, man. I don't even
Hey.
know what the I'm protecting you from. If I'm protecting you from anything.
Okay. Can we like
Eh.
guess?
Sure, you can have theories. I don't know anything. I honestly
Well,
don't.
not
Spoiled.
that you'll confirm whether we're right or not, but can we like at least posit what this character seems like is going on?
I don't care. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I know I want to because okay, so she's got the boots. The boots come from somebody who she's obsessed with, but probably also abuses her, or abused her in the past. I bet it's his dad because I think that's who the guy is that has the symbol on his back.
But the guy is coming for the boots.
Sure.
And the
And he
boots have the
also
same
knew-
symbol as his gloves, Rudo's
Exactly.
gloves,
They're-
and so that means they're
yeah,
part of that series.
It's the
Whatever that
Watchmen
means.
series.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And this guy knew that Rudo had them. Nobody told him the kid's name. So that means he's probably the one that sent the gloves up. So how did Rudo's adopted father get the gloves to hand them to him? Was he originally from down here? Is he someone that went back and forth? There's some angel that went back and forth that this girl talked about seeing. I don't know why the heck she's out here in this tower all by herself, but it looks like she has potentially killed other people that have come to this tower in this same manner. And she doesn't seem to have any regrets about it. So she's definitely a sociopath, if not a psychopath at this point, probably due to abuse. But that's the impression I get from her. Uh she's nuts. But she's probably nuts because of being a victim at some previous point.
My only thought pre some miniature spoilers that I got from my daughter, future main cast material.
Yeah, I figured that she would at some point somehow like join them because they had the opportunity to take her out and everything, and then suddenly Ru what's her name? Rio is like talking to her on the floor, and she just volunteers the information in the
That wasn't
conversation.
Rio. That was the supporter girl that started doing it.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, the supporter girl was talking
Tomei.
to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you get this sense of okay, so we just watched her get absolutely pummeled by Rudo, his term. And she's suddenly going to become sympathetic. That's just how it seemed. I was more on board with when the two guys were like, "We're going to eliminate you because you're a threat. Your information is not worth keeping you alive for." I was like, "Okay, you should do it because she's going to kill you all, and it would be over. And if she's in misery, she wouldn't be anymore."
It's true.
That's when people are sad, you should murder them.
If they're trying to kill you, yeah, absolutely. That is called self-defense. They invite you in your home so that you can smell their stinky shoes so that they have power over you. And
do
then they
love
try
it.
to make you kill each other.
We're jumping
Her
all over
stank,
the plot.
her stank is what controlled them. I was dying as that was being revealed.
Anyway, they go to the tower. She gets very upset, especially Engine manages to insult her. And then he gets attacked by the big guy in the group because, like Jeremy said, she has a magic smell that flood you with your happiest memories and then you act a behavior on them. It's also important to note that Rudo and Rio were not having happy memories.
It's not your happiest memories. It's memories of the person that you loved the most.
I thought she said happy in the
In
She
the
just no, in the sub it was made clear that she was saying if you're remembering the person you love the most or the person that made you
you
happy the
should be
most,
happy.
then you should be happy. And that's an assumption on her part.
By the time the fight happens, it's only Grizz, Zonko, and Tamzi who are able to put on their mask in time and not be affected. With the exception of Engine, who's been knocked out by the big guy. And his water hose spray for a garden. I mean, it's no less silly than an umbrella or...
It's true, but like I don't know. I've seen umbrellas used in combat before. I've never seen a sprinkler or like a spray nozzle on your
which,
hose.
to be in my opinion, is what the series should be doing. It should be taking random non-weapon items and finding creative ways to make them weapons. I was actually disappointed in the umbrella of like, yeah, we've seen that. We've seen bladed. It just happened in Star Wars Visions a few years back.
I forgot that already.
Yeah, the umbrella lightsaber lady. Yeah. And the samurai one. Tamzi, his magic power is thread, and he threads everyone into a net, and then he rolls them all up and even captures Amo, and then smashes them all down to the bottom of the tower. And Zonka's like, "Whoa, you just killed everybody!" He's like, "Dude, protection spells. Everyone gets one kill hit to survive."
Yeah.
Which means the Engine was not hurt at all because he also had the protection spell. So he jumps up and he grabs the boots. He's like, "I was just faking it." La la la. And then they're like, "Okay, well, we'll all be friends now. No need to be mad." And then Rudo punches the crap out of her, and they have to drag him away. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I think I get cranky.
he needs a Snickers.
I have anger issues." And then yeah, she has the conversation with Tomei, who and reveals that she saw an angel going up to the sphere, and that's where we stop. Much to the chagrin of many who think we should have watched episode 13 to get some backstory, but we didn't. So we'll find out how that affects things in the future.
You refuse.
Let's go to our final reviews.
Oh yeah, it's me. Okay.
Yeah, you picked this.
I genuinely think Jason said it best at the beginning. It's mediocre. The anime is mediocre. The art is beautiful. I think there's so much potential. The power system is interesting. It's the conversations, it's the writing that I have the most trouble with because it just feels like a lot of it is aimed towards a younger audience, but the grittiness of the world and how visceral it is, biting fingers off, like that one really threw me. Feels like it belongs more in a higher rating, like an R rating, which typically would mean a seinen instead of a shonen. So I don't know. It's really weird for me. It's a 3.
Jason?
There's just a lot to. There's a lot of setup, and there's just no meat. I think is the problem for me. I do like the two different worlds and how they interact. And how the trash comes to life. I think the power system needed a bit more work on the drawing board, or at least it needed to be introduced a little differently. A lot of the characters are either just fine or annoying. And yeah, I agree with Jeremy that the dialogue just isn't there for me. I'm hearing a lot of promises for the second half, so I'm just going to give this a 3 for now. It might change with the second half, but like I mentioned at the beginning, I could drop this. I don't feel a desire to finish it out. So, but we will.
So for me, like, I just feel shonen anime has evolved past where this is sitting, and so it just kind of feels old and tired. I do think a decade ago it would have been much more enjoyable for me, whereas right now I'm mostly bored with it. My hope for the future, with not knowing where it's going, is that it takes all this setup of following these tropes and then be like, psych, throwing that all out. We're something you've never seen before. We're actually going in a different direction. We're not going to do fights. We don't. The whole thing is about not fighting or something. I don't know. Don't over expand on the power system too much for me. Just keep it up to gimmicks versus gimmicks. Please don't talk too much about quality. I don't want a training arc. I don't want an old guy who's been in the game too long and he trains you in a weird way, Mr. Miyagi style. I don't want a tournament. But we'll see. We'll see where it goes. For me, it's a 3.
You know there's going to be a tournament Trash Town.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's the cleaner tournament. We do this every year just to keep ourselves fresh.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Raiders broke in this year. Oh.
Engine
Yeah.
got the highest score last year.
I can see all that coming, and I just really, really hope there's a unexpected zag up ahead.
Subverted expectations.
I want 100%.
100%.
You want
an art
Yeah,
book.
it is gorgeous.
Yeah, I would love that. Like a nice coffee table book that has like all the characters and the locations. That would be really cool.
I do want to know what's going on with eyes. There's a real big focus on not only are everyone's eyes drawn weird, but like there's eye symbology in a lot of the bad guys and in the OP and stuff. There's something going on with an eye somewhere.
And in Canvas Town, there's a ton of eyes on the walls.
Right.
OP.
Again, for going forward, we are taking a break from this anime to do our holiday movie so that we can spend more time with our family instead of watching anime. Or we're just watching anime casually instead of having to write a bunch of notes. So we'll be watching 100 meters and then we'll be coming back to this and then doing our traditional Jeremy and Jason's Gotta Love Them picks. We'll call them that. That's a good name. All right.
It
I think
is.
it's time for us to say goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
Sayonara.